helps a lot. See, now it's like, oh, I have to chase him away. Oh wait, but the footmen are invincible. And the Archmage can run circles around my army. This sucks. And he's also really slow at bringing them back, you know, out and face. Deado the water elementals, or not. Okay, so I mean, this is really like, I mean, pretty typical micro at this point. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm focusing the footmen now because they don't have defend on anymore. The Archmage is going to try to right-click my gold mine, and I'm going to chase him off with archers. I mean, he got the range upgrade, he's getting a shop, which is also important. You know, it allows you, specifically if you're going Panda first, it's really helpful because you can just buy mana potions and just rape all the footmen if they try to right-click your tree. Which is really what happens more often when you're going Panda, because you can't push with level 2 Panda because it's worthless. But, you know, Haze Fire can stop footmen from right-clicking your tree because of, you know, the whole haze bit. So, level 3 DR, picks up a foot. And you can try to go after this tower, but I think Fire's going to watch for that. Oh look, I'm right-clicking your tower, and watch how quickly this repairs. Oh look, it's unkillable. Okay. So, peasants instead. Alright, that's cool.
Your building is complete.
So, okay. I mean, he's just typically massing up, you know, he's getting his tier 3, he's got his dual lore, or single lore. There we go, yeah, dual lore going up. Replacing the wisps, and then, you know, okay. Because you want to abuse the whole point where your opponent can't stop you. Because a human can creep with a water mantle and a couple foots, no problem. I mean, they can creep anything they want with WEs and foots. And I mean, so can a deer and archers. But the thing is, if your army's bigger than your opponent's, I mean, your creeping pace will only get better, and his won't increase that much for a while. And so at this point, you know, you don't need to be creeping. Because, I mean, letting him creep just as fast as you with the same size, with a smaller army is kind of stupid. But meanwhile, if you fight, you can, you know, he picked off a foot, and yeah, he lost an archer, but at least he denied it. Then he's got to dry it out so he can pick off more footmen. So you can see how, you know, adding new units is giving him a lot of bonuses. And, you know, he goes to pick off this footman, and, ooh, I don't know if it got, I don't think it got denied. And he slows down a new footman with that dryad. Archmage tries to block the dryad, so the dryad gets in front. Actually, it doesn't really try to block, but, you know, whatever. And he's like, okay, you know, but, I mean, the main thing is he's forcing his opponent back, which allows him to creep whatever he wants. You know, because now Hoth's like, okay, well, you're stuck in your base. I guess I'm going to go creep some big camps. Specifically, he's creeping the ones in the middle. Because you can't always usually really take your opponent's creeps. It's usually way too hard to do. And risky, etc. And, you know, when you have an advantage already, I mean, trying to make it bigger by risking a lot is not a good idea. If you have an advantage, you'll keep your advantage in most cases. And use your advantage in safe ways, like, you know, creeping the middle creeps that he won't ever get them. But not creeping your opponent's creeps, because then, well, he'll get the middle, or he'll creep jack you. Both of them really don't give you anything special. And he denies the hunt, because it's really a worthless unit. You could have let it out of the tower, but, you know, whatever. It looks cooler if you kill it with the Dryad. And he's not going to kill the shop, because he'd rather make him waste money repairing it. LOL JK. Tower goes down. He could push these towers if he wanted to, but he's not going to, because he's a gangster. But he has a wisp there, knowing what he's making. Okay, he's going tier 3, getting mortars and casters. Fair enough. And those peasants have less mana now. Awesome. I know, I realize this audio is bad. I'm out of touch. Sue me. Don't, actually, that would be bad. So, alright, just, you know, as I said, what I was talking earlier about, how it's risky to creep your opponent's stuff. This is a pretty safe camp, because it sucks. The items are bad, the creeps are bad, his scouts are taking all the damage, and even if he loses archers, they're worthless anyway. So, more gold mine right-clicking going on for fire, and sure enough, TP forest, which you pretty much have to do or you will lose, you know, the whole having a gold mine thing. And face it, not having a gold mine for a minute, which is how long it takes to re-entangle, is 600 gold. Well, with upkeep, it's 420 gold. Still less than 350 from a new TP. And so it dispels the water metals and kills like 4 footmen. Lots of experience, worthwhile. Yes, footmen are useless, experience isn't. Because he's going to hit close to 3 panda and 40R. Okay, so, story time. This one time, I was walking down the street, and this guy came up to me, and he was like, "Hey Phreak, you're my hero," and I was like, "Thanks." So, triple lore bears is the unit combination of choice because it owns, pretty much. Auto abolish going off, getting rid of the slow and LS because it's cool like that. Scout and scouting out, checking for the number of towers he has, which is, 3. Checks to see specifically if those other scout towers were upgraded, and they weren't. So he's like, okay, I crapped some more. He should have probably gotten top middle, and he should go for that now, because taking your opponent's creeps equals good idea. But, I mean, I guess also what his playstyle does is it pretty much doesn't allow his opponent to creep. But, I mean, really, Fire could have crept a lot right now and gotten like 3 MK and 4 Archmage, and instead he's like, oh, let me go get ganked in the middle real quick. Oh, that's a good idea. Let me grab a heal scroll or two, and then there's a bear, or knight, but whatever. They're better than bears. So, yeah, Hot not really focus firing anything, and losing Dryads as a result. Nice. So Fire TP's out after killing stuff. Good mech by Hot dodging his Dryad real quick. But I mean, I don't know what Hot was doing, he just didn't focus anything at all. Kind of a bad choice. Whatever. He's putting up an H no win though, because he notes, hey, my opponent has knights. This blows, I'm making Chimera. And yes, the true counter to knights is Chimera, because guess what? Nothing else kills them. P.S. Knights are more durable than bears. True story. And then Mortar goes down and Hot says, hey, I'm gonna go creep the mid. Which in English is, I'm gonna go creep the mid. And notice that Hot's liberal use of Scout Wisps lets him know what his opponent is doing, when he's attacking, when he's harassing, etc. Which is actually very, very important on this map, because there is very limited mobility on this map. There's very few places you can go, and so knowing where he's going is very important, especially when you have a better army than your opponent, like in this 79 versus, okay, it's 79 versus 80, but the heroes are different. And the upgrades might be different, maybe. No, not really, but his micro's better, and so if they keep fighting, he'll win. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Also, additionally, Fire has a, quote, shitload of peasants on lumber, and Hot doesn't. In fact, he has no peasants on lumber, he has wisps. Which means his army, his actual army, is bigger despite the food count being about the same. A true story. Alright. So, what he's doing is he's attacking his opponent's base. Not the expansion because it has towers, but his base because it doesn't have towers. And if he really wants to bring in militia, LOL Haze Fire. True story. Okay, so Hot saying, okay, I'm in good position, let's fight. It's time to duel! Or something. Okay, so Mortar's going off and crushing Dryads pretty hard. That's another reason why you go Chimeras, because they actually can kill Mortars. Unlike bears, which don't do any damage once they're slowed, and the Dryads are all dead. So you can't dispel slow, but he's doing well by pulling his Dryads into the middle of the battle so that it's harder for Mortars to focus. And if they do hit his units, at least they deal some damage to the Sorgs. And he's putting the Panda in there for some